Nice left hook. Up.
Boxing legend Mike Tyson, now in his late 50s, continues to defy the expectations of age as he prepares for his highly anticipated fight with social media star-turned-boxer Jake Paul. However, recent training sessions have taken a violent turn, leaving one of Tyson's sparring partners hospitalized after a brutal knockout. Sources from Tyson's training camp have reportedly confirmed that during a recent sparring session, Tyson, widely regarded as one of the most fearsome heavyweights in boxing history, delivered a devastating punch that knocked out his sparring partner.
Nice left hook. Up.
It was good for today.
Yeah.
I attribute it.
You sure?
Yeah, me
Yes.
too.
You sure?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. You sure?
Yeah.
Yes. With me, it's all right?
Let's do this.
You did great.
The impact was so severe that the partner lost consciousness and had to be rushed to the hospital for immediate medical attention. The identity of the sparring partner has not been disclosed, but reports suggest that he was a seasoned professional. Despite his experience, he was unable to withstand Tyson's raw power, which is still a defining characteristic of his fighting style. As paramedics arrived on the scene, the sparring partner was conscious but clearly disoriented, and his condition is being monitored closely. Even at 58 years old, Tyson's explosive power in the ring remains legendary.
Dominant.
It's not how old you are, it's how old you feel.
I don't feel what the word old. I don't feel that.
No! Well, you're smart going into the new wave.
No, it's always the old wave. It's always this.
Yeah.
I could do all this stuff and not have this and this.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Many fans and analysts have wondered whether his body, after years of retirement and physical wear, could still support his once dominant boxing style. This incident has put those doubts to rest. Tyson, known for his incredible knockout ratio during his prime, seems to have maintained much. His famous uppercuts and hooks have sent numerous opponents to the canvas, and this sparring partner appears to have been no exception. This event serves as a chilling reminder of just how dangerous Tyson can still be, even in a controlled environment. In recent interviews, Tyson himself has acknowledged that his power hasn't diminished significantly, and this knockout appears to back up those claims. 3 weeks ahead of their showdown in the ring, Tyson shared sparring footage on social media, capturing the moment he floored a training partner. A sharp left hook sent his opponent halfway through the ropes. "I'm just getting started," Tyson wrote, accompanying the video. In July, Paul secured a TKO victory over bare-knuckle boxing star Mike Perry, improving his professional boxing record to 10-1. Meanwhile, Tyson stepped into the ring for an exhibition match against Roy Jones Jr. in November 2020.
What's that?
My mother died at 16. If she came back to life, I wonder if she recognized me.
Yeah, she would. She would.
Yeah.
But she'd be proud of you. So you didn't end up staying in Brownsville.
Yeah, so far. Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's reverse. I love it.
20 seconds. And then the end. It's just like that.
The bout lasted all rounds and ended in a draw. Tyson's last official boxing contest was in 2005, where he retired on a stool against Kevin McBride, resulting in a loss by RTD. It's been nearly 2 decades since Tyson last stepped into the ring for a professional fight. In his 2020 exhibition against Jones Jr., he showed he still had some spark. Paul, at 31 years, Tyson's Jr., may have youth on his side, but as the old saying goes, a fighter's power is the last thing to fade. Tyson's representative, Andrew ROF, has now sought to quash any speculation over an injury. He told USA Today that the knee support is strictly for preventative measures and has zero relevance on his performance or capabilities to win this fight. It's like one tennis star, Novak Djokovic, has worn I think the same brand. Even no injury here. He's looking invincible. Teddy Atlas, who worked with Tyson under Cus D'Amato when Iron Mike was a teenager, also weighed in and shared his thoughts on the compression sleeve. Atlas told USA Today there didn't seem to be anything restricted in his movements or his legs coming forward. He added, "Usually when you have a knee problem, it would restrict you or compromise you more going to the side. Tyson don't go to the side. He mostly goes straight forward. Is the sleeve there because there was a problem? Is a problem? I didn't see any proof of that by what he was doing. Despite some concerns raised by the aforementioned footage, Tyson's most ardent fans remain hopeful that he can put on a spectacular show once more on November 15th. On the other hand, the outcome of the boxing battle between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson has been predicted by YouTuber KSI, who has criticized Paul for appearing awful with the fight drawing near. Speculation is swirling among fans and analysts alike. Paul appears confident in his abilities, even going so far as to challenge his opponent to a $5 million wager. The most recent commentator, fellow YouTuber turned boxer KSI, claimed that Paul appeared awful in the training videos he had viewed. In a 22nd of October YouTube video, KSI said, "I've seen parts of Paul's training footage. God, he just looks awful, man. He just looks so slow, so sluggish. This isn't his natural weight. It is what it is." In spite of his criticism, KSI continued by saying that he believes Paul will have the advantage because of his advanced age. He said, "I still think he's going to absolutely destroy Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson is old." As when Tyson does get obliterated, PFL boss Peter Murray confirmed the American will switch to MMA in 2025. Speaking to Bloody Elbow last month, he said, "Jake will continue on his boxing journey, but he is committed to making his PFL MMA debut in 2025. We have a partnership with Jake, and we're looking forward to supporting him in MMA. We're going to stage that mega event next year, and more to come on that too. That will happen." There's a number of opponents who continue to line up. Conceptually, this event continues to get bigger and bigger. Jake is committed to take on a real, legitimate fighter, so it'll be a spectacle. In just a few weeks, fans around the globe will witness the return of Mike Tyson to the ring. The iconic boxer is set to go head-to-head with Jake Paul in a professional match, and a former lightweight champion has now delivered a strikingly harsh forecast for this eagerly awaited clash. Mike Tyson's greatness is undeniable, widely celebrated by analysts and fans alike. He is often hailed as one of the greatest boxers of all time. Even Jake Paul has frequently lauded him, showcasing Tyson's enduring influence in the sport, especially as they prepare for their upcoming bout. Boxing icon Evander Holyfield, renowned for battling some of the sport's toughest adversaries like Larry Holmes, Lennox Lewis, and Mike Tyson, asserts that none delivered a punch as powerful as George Foreman. At 62, Holyfield is revered as one of the greatest boxers in history, having held the title of undisputed cruiserweight champion in the late 1980s and the heavyweight championship in the early 1990s. With the October 2nd 44 record at retirement, he is also the only boxer to have won the world heavyweight title 4 times throughout his remarkable career. Holyfield faced formidable opponents, achieving a unanimous decision win against Holmes in 1992 and reclaiming the WBA title by defeating Tyson with a TKO in 1996. Nevertheless, he suffered a setback in 1999 when he was defeated by Lewis in their rematch for the undisputed championship. And then people on Twitter are going to be like, "How did we let this happen? Oh no, this is so bad." I'm going to be the one saying, "Well, I told you." Despite both being boxers, KSI and Paul have yet to face off, even though Paul once expressed a desire to decapitate KSI. Meanwhile, it has been reported that in the summer of 2025, Jake Paul will finally make his MMA debut. Nearly 2 years ago, Paul signed a deal to acquire equity in the Professional Fighters League, sparking ongoing speculation about his potential debut in the cage. Although he was targeting a fight this year, his defeat to Tommy Fury in 2023 shifted his focus back to his boxing career. Paul recently shared his thoughts on stepping into the cage, expressing his readiness to make his debut in the octagon, but only if he can secure the right opponent. Paul said, "It's just about finding the name. We have the money. We're ready to go. We're ready to make offers to people, but they just have to be able to draw sales. It has to be a fight where it's like, this is my first MMA fight, so I think I can beat Nate Diaz in my first MMA fight. It would be tough, of course. It's a 50-50 fight, but I don't want to go into something where I'm going to be outclassed, like fighting Khabib Nurmagomedov in my first fight. It would be very, very serious. I would probably start working with either Shah Ali's team or maybe Javier Mendez over in California. I would take it very, very seriously. I wouldn't want to lose, and I take everything I do seriously, so I would definitely go hard." In just a few weeks, fans around the globe will witness the return of Mike Tyson to the ring. The iconic boxer is set to go head-to-head with Jake Paul in a professional match, and a former lightweight champion has now delivered a strikingly harsh forecast for this eagerly awaited clash. Mike Tyson's greatness is undeniable. He is widely celebrated by analysts and fans alike and is often hailed as one of the greatest boxers of all time. Even Jake Paul has frequently lauded him, showcasing Tyson's enduring influence in the sport, especially as they prepare for their upcoming bout. In 1987, Foreman emerged from retirement with the ambition of becoming the oldest champion in boxing history, a feat he accomplished 3 years after battling Holyfield. According to the Mirror, although Foreman possessed immense punching power, Holyfield successfully preserved his undefeated status until he was ultimately knocked out by Riddick Bowe a year later. He reclaimed victory over Bowe in 1993, but experienced a series of mixed outcomes as he took on some of the fiercest competitors of his era. In the years that followed, Holyfield returned from retirement for a special exhibition match in 2021, only to be swiftly defeated in the first round by Vitor Belfort. It now appears that he might be contemplating another comeback, potentially echoing the path taken by his old rival Tyson.
Jake Paul realizes immediately he's in there with Mike Tyson. That Mike Tyson, at least for a round or two,
First time he
Mike
gets
Tyson.
cracked, it's gonna, I guarantee you, his head's gonna be like, oh.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
How many rounds is it?
I think it's 8.
Yeah.
8 2-minute rounds.
That are 2 minutes?
Yeah, I think they're
minutes?
doing 2-minute rounds. Do they have 10-ounce gloves or 12-ounce gloves, Jamie?
about
14
14s.
ounces. That's so sparring.
I think it's ironic because the cornerstone of Misfits boxing is on a higher moral ground than some parts of traditional boxing. Ex-lightweight champion Anthony Crolla claims a Mike Tyson knockout of Jake Paul would make a lot of people in boxing happy. Crolla expressed that many in the boxing community would be thrilled if Tyson could secure a win. He said, "I think it's a bit dangerous. We don't know what kind of place Mike Tyson will be in. He looked great in the exhibition with Roy Jones Jr., but Jake Paul could never lace Mike's gloves when anywhere near his best. He shouldn't be anywhere near Tyson." One thing about Jake Paul is he does train like a boxer. He puts the effort in, and there's no denying the improvements. Crolla further added, "But I think it's so hard to predict because I don't know what Mike Tyson has left. He could go in there and blow him away in a round or so. Jake Paul has improved, but Mike Tyson's age, it's a mad one. It's hard to even make sense of it. Mike's approaching 60. Earlier this year, the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation classified this matchup as a professional bout instead of an exhibition. However, it defies the typical mold of a pro boxing event. After all, a 58-year-old who hung up his gloves over 20 years ago is set to face off against a former YouTube star. This unusual scenario prompted the TDLR, the governing authority for combat sports in Texas, to implement some uncommon adjustments to the rules and regulations surrounding the fight. Let's delve into the details of these changes. To begin with, the upcoming Mike Tyson vs. Jake Paul matchup will feature 2-minute rounds instead of the traditional 3. Iron Mike believes that this shorter format will lead to a more action-packed fight, which is certainly valid. Additionally, it will help him manage his stamina across the scheduled 8 rounds. Both fighters will don 14-ounce gloves for this bout, which, like Tyson's previous encounter with Roy Jones Jr. in 2020, will consist of 8 rounds of 2 minutes each. However, it's important to note that their previous fight was an exhibition, meaning knockouts weren't permitted. This time around, the rules will be different. Headshots will be permitted, and knockouts are on the table as well. This heavyweight clash may also showcase a significant weight difference. Jake Paul has mentioned that he aims to weigh in at approximately 220 pounds for the bout, while he anticipates Tyson will come in at around 235 pounds. Mange, the communications manager for TDLR, stated, "We've had a couple of men's bouts that were professional duels that were 2-minute rounds, but it's been a while, and I haven't been able to figure out who those were." She went on to discuss why TDLR agreed to these exclusions in order to fight professionally. M stated, "If 2 contestants request terms that do not represent a safety issue and are not in violation of statutes and/or rules, then we can agree to regulate the event and ensure those terms are enforced." She says the tournament is not any more risky because of the shorter rounds and heavier gloves. Additionally, implementing these regulations will protect both Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Tyson, in particular, has faced multiple health concerns lately, making precautionary measures essential. Conversely, using heavier gloves could lessen the force behind Tyson's notoriously lethal punches, It's important to note that for a bout to be officially recognized as a professional fight, it typically requires the use of 10-ounce gloves and 3-minute rounds. However, TDLR appears to have created an exception for the Paul-Tyson match. With that in mind, while Ms. Taylor may lean toward a biased view regarding the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight due to his association with Paul's rival KSI, the arguments he presents are still valid. If this match is deemed a professional event and Tyson is in fighting shape, especially with TDLR sanctioning it, then why should there be any deviations from the established rules? So, that's all from today's video. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.